When I was 22, my life looked pretty great. I had a job, I had a girlfriend, I had great friends. I was pretty good at things I liked doing as well. I was happy, I was content. I also thought I was a Christian. I believed in God and I knew that Jesus died on the cross. I never knew I had to do anything about that though. Whenever I had a small problem, I looked at the Where to Find Help section in the Gideon's Bible, which I got when I was at school. And by doing that, gradually I started getting more interested in God. And I went to find a church. And I found this church, but the problem was everyone in this church was talking about Jesus. And I don't understand why Jesus was so relevant. For me, it was always God was the main guy. Now, these people wanted to talk about Jesus in the Bible. They were given emotional testimonies about how they experienced Jesus in their lives. And I asked people to help me understand, but no one could give me an answer that would help me understand. And one day I got so frustrated, I started looking at the song sheets we were singing that day to give me some sort of clue, and thankfully my friend came over and drew me a picture. You see, it was always God's intention to be one with His creation. That's why He gave us free will, so we could freely love Him, but there became a separation when we used our free will to turn away from God, start living by our own rule book and not God's guidelines. It says in the Bible, we've all sinned and fall short of the glory of God, creating an eternal separation from a loving God who opposes sin. But just as any loving father would not want to be separated from their child, God came down to earth as the person Jesus Christ. And when Jesus died on the cross, it was a sacrifice for everything we've ever done wrong and everything we ever will do wrong, taking away our blame and punishment, which would be eternal separation from Him. I finally understood it. I saw that sin looked like a gap, not a gap that I could jump, a gap that we created, and that Jesus has bridged this gap, and He was offering me the opportunity to restore my relationship with Him. And this is God's declaration of love for me, that He would rather die than live without me. This came to quite a shock to me because I didn't think I was separated from God. I mean, I believed in God. I was a nice person. I didn't think I'd done anything wrong that would need God's forgiveness, but it looked like to be in the place where I thought I was already at, I would need to accept this forgiveness. So I said this prayer. I said, Jesus, I believe You're the Son of God. I believe You died and rose again. Please come into my life. Please take away my sin. I now live for You as my Lord and Saviour. A week after doing that, I started experiencing that I should care more about people, homeless people in particular. I don't know why, but this was coming from, not from a thought that was like, I should do this now. It was coming from my heart, which was becoming more generous with my time and what I could offer people. I prayed for addictions to go, and instantly they did, to people's surprise. I prayed for things and my prayers got answered, no matter where I was in the world, no matter how big or how small the thing I needed was. God has given to me time and time again. So much so for me, it can't be called a coincidence anymore. For example, a month after I became a Christian, I was really broke and I bought a travel card which basically hurt the bank account. And I remember praying to God, I said, God, it's so cool if you can give me free travel on the underground. And I remember thinking, that's impossible. And then I got home an hour later and to my surprise, there was an Oyster card outside my door with a note from my flatmate saying that he's gone on holiday and I can use the travel card for the next 7 days. From that to when I was making a film that reenacts miracles, and I work out I need £2,320 to finish this film. So I look at my cash flow on my personal account and my business account. All this money is going to come in and leave, and all the money I've got in the world came to £2,320, exactly what I needed to make this film. And then a couple of months after that, I work out I need £5,000 to finish this film. I look at my cash flow again, I see that I've got £5,556, so a bit of money left over, great. But then I look at an invoice a hire company was charging me for dropping the camera on the second day of the shoot, and they would charge me £556. But looking back, I can see that all my experience came directly after accepting Jesus in my life, which makes me realise that just believing in God and being a nice person wasn't sufficient enough to take away my sin. The only person that could do that was God Himself.